In the previous video, we looked at what's the difference between authority and roles. Now, in this video, let's try to understand how to configure roles and perform authorization using them. Similar to authorities, we also have three different methods: has role, has any role, access methods, which will allow you to perform some configurations based upon the roles. As you can expect, has role will allow you to configure a single role based upon which the user will be allowed to access a particular endpoint. Whereas has any role, you can mention any number of roles and the user has to have at least one of that role which we configured using has any role, and accordingly he will be allowed to access the endpoints. And like authorities, access method also is very better way of configuring if you have a complex requirements like based upon some unconditions or conditions. In that scenario, we can go with the access method. But while we are configuring roles, we should have role underscore prefix added in the database, and this is an indication for us and for the Spring Security. Okay, this is not a normal authority, it is a role based access. And at the same time, you don't have to mention this prefix while you're configuring these roles inside your Spring Security code. We can see that when we are checking the code. And one more beauty with access method is it's not only about the user authorities and roles. You can control the access to that particular API based upon any condition. Like you may have a scenario where the users from a particular country or where the users should be able to access this path only during certain time frame or certain date. In all such scenarios also, you can go ahead and leverage access method. Whereas has role, has any role, has authority, has any authority, they are tied up with your authorities and roles. So that's the main advantages of the access method. Now let's try to go to the code and understand how we can configure authorization based upon roles. First, I'll go to the database. What I have done is previously we used to have read and write authorities, but I have overridden them with the roles. For the happy user, there are two roles that we have configured for the happy customer. One is role underscore user and other one is role underscore admin. So whenever you want to use role, has role or has any role methods, we should definitely have this role prefix attached in the database. The reason is while performing these comparison checks, Spring Security automatically will add a prefix of role to the value that you provide. That is why we should not configure with a prefix in the code but only in the database. So now we have done the database update. Let's try to go to the code. Here you can see previously we used to have authorities, but now I have used has role, has any role, and roles like user, admin, root I have used. Here you can understand I'm not prefixing anything with role underscore with these names. The reason is Spring Security automatically will add a prefix role underscore whenever we are using role based methods. So here you can clearly understand my account can be accessed by the users who has a role user. My balance will be accessed by user who has either user or admin role, and loans will be accessed by the users who has root role, and my cards users are they are like accessed by anyone who are authenticated. With this configuration, we should be able to access my account, my balance, my cards, but not the loans because my loans need a root role and our happy customer does not have that. Let's try to go and validate that. I'm trying to log in into the application. I'm clicking account. I'm able to see the response. Same with balance, same with cards. But if I go and click loans, we are not able to get the data with the reason 403 error. So in this way, we can configure authorization using roles and also authorities. I hope now you understand how to perform authorization inside your application based upon authorities, roles, and different ways to configure the same in your Spring Security code as well. Enough of authorization. In the next videos, let's try to understand how to perform restrictions on the API paths using different matches available inside our Spring Security. As of now, we are only using ANT matches always, but we also have various methods and matches available in Spring Security that we can easily leverage to perform restrictions on the API paths beyond roles and authorities. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye.